is trying to review and approve by the first. Next, for the technical documents, they cover special technical licensing is the joint venture, records of completed contracts with government and private, records of audits of going government and private contracts to be awarded but not yet started, and records of SLC similar to the contract should get adjusted to current price using a current price index and should have a contract amount equivalent to 50%. A contract shall be considered similar to the contract if it has the same major category of work and any of the following are the categories of work and interesting. For this project, the major category of works is roads, maintenance, asphalt. For similar category, please refer to PO number 16 series of 2025 or the basic guidance for determination of major and similar categories of work and eligibility requirements for work experience in the procurement of infrastructure contracts. So for the qualifiers, the following qualifiers shall be applied to this contract. Number one, the bidder must have documented experience and expertise in asphalt overlay works involving large quantities with a minimum volume of at least 25,000 metric tons, specific or especially for stone plastic asphalt, overlay and other specialized mixes. The bidder must have completed at three projects with documented results to meet the requirement for International Rock Index or IRI of 3 meters per kilometer, and the bidder must have a machine with automatic brake and slope control system equipped with big multi-index to ensure smooth riding quality as requirement for IRI, and the bidder must have its own concrete and asphalt batch. For the reporting of license, size range, large B, license category, quadruple A and triple A. For the financial documents, audited financial statements stamp received by the BIR is fully credited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of institution. Tax returns filed and taxes paid with the BIR electronic filing and payment system, and computation of NFCC taken to date, computed using the prescribed formula. NFCC is equal to the current assets minus current liabilities minus value on finished projects including awarded projects not yet started coinciding with the budget. For Class B documents or for joint venture, valid JPE, each partner of the joint venture shall submit their respective future certificates of registration in accordance with section 20.2.9.1 of the IRR of RA 000. The sufficient technical and financial eligibility documents by any of the joint venture partners constitute compliance, provided that the partner responsible to submit the NFCC shall line to submit the statement of audits to global contracts and audited financial statements. For the submission and risk documents, contents of first envelope or the technical proposal, fill your certificate of registration, packet membership, latest general information sheet reflecting the beneficial ownership information duly filed with and stamp received by the SEC for corporations, partnership, private sector organization, foundations, and institutions. Pickup license and registration or special pickup license in joint venture. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. Statement of ethics and its computation, JBA, applicable, bid security in the prescribed form, amount, and such figures, project requirements such as for goods for partner contract lease of contractors, personnel, lease of contractors, major construction and laboratory equipment, and omnibus work statements, and ISO 9001 certification requirement for large A, B2B, and B2B contractors. For the bid security, the bid validity period. Bid security validity period is 100 certificate of submission of documents. The bidder shall submit a bid security declaration or any form of bid security declaration. For cash or shares or managers issued by a bank, the amount of bid security is not less than 2% of ABC, And for backdrop, for direct or irrevocable letter of credit issued by the bank, provided however that it shall be confirmed or authenticated by a local bank if issued by the foreign bank. And for shirts non-callable upon demand issued by issuer year insurance company to certified by the insurance commission as authorized to subsidy, not less than 5% of the fees. For the contents of second envelope for the financial proposal, that is 12%, need for feed prices to be legal estimates, cash flow by the quarter and peak schedule, and please refer to DPWH Department Order Number 36 of February 2025 for the main items which shall be or shall not be subjected to and or contractors' profit. It's initially be done manually electronically or online. However, bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. Similar to manual submission, the guidance for the preparation and submission of an electronic bid are contained in the EDSA Clause 19. For bids to be submitted electronically or online, the procedure should be observed following PO 87-2020. It's treating to a representative, not listed as an official license officer in their CRC access through the CWA. It must be accompanied by any of the following as proof of authorization. You have notarized as word or partnership resolution and section. Additionally, the representative must present a valid company ID and valid personal IDs to ensure that the representative is an official company member and to prevent legitimate actions such as the unauthorized use of another contractor's eligibility for personal. These must be received by the tax secretary for manual submission or at electronic deeds_NCR at DPWH.com.ph for electronic submission on or before December 2026 at 8 o'clock a.m. These deeds shall not be exempt. For the bid evaluation, the financial components of the bids of each past bidder shall be evaluated using a discretionary period of medical corrections for computational errors and consider the correct total calculated prices. The bank will automatically disqualify any total calculated bid price which exceeds these. The following factors are to be considered in the evaluation of the bid prices. For completeness, no price is indicated non-responsive, specifying a zero or a dash into the government. All prices are deemed to include all taxes and fees not addressing or providing all of the required items in the documents included. For applicable BOQ should be considered non-responsive. For arithmetical corrections, each prices in figures versus words prevail. Total price versus unit price per item, unit price per item prevails. Total price versus actual sum of component items, actual sum prevails, and unit cost in legal estimate versus unit cost in BOQ prevails. And if above is not applied. For post-qualification, verification of legal reports such as licenses, certificates for basic agreements submitted by the bidder and non-inclusion blacklist. For technical requirements, we have key personnel with work experience requirements should be satisfied. Availability and commitment of major construction equipment. Failure of the prospective bidder to state the complete technical description of the pledged equipment and the specific location where their own this or other purchase agreement shall result in the bidder's automatic post-disqualification for award of contract and for future state security per DO 58 states of 2012. Performance can go in government and private contracts. We have negative slippage of at least 15% in any one project or negative slippage of at least 10% in each of two or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence with your work and complete ongoing contracts in prescribed date after the receipt of notice of defects and deficiencies. Failure of the contractor to commence with your work on contract with banking certificates of acceptance in the prescribed date after the receipt of the notice of defects and failures. Substandard quality of works or unsatisfactory performance for contract term and conditions in the time of inspection. And EO 147, Citizen or the strict application of RA 9184 to conduct the post qualification of bidders with legal knowing contracts with the DPWH and authenticity of bid security. For financial requirements, we have bid price potential and emphasis. Notes on the personnel and equipment requirements of the project as per DO number 9 Series of Technical or the technical requirements for sales of works projects for public. If a proposed key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the same time of the bidder shall submit a certification that the person to be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract, and he or she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications certified by the head of the implementing office. The bidder may propose a key technical personnel who is not its employee, provided that the said personnel is required to submit a certification that he or she will work for the bidder if it is awarded the contract under G, and this certification shall be included in the first envelope of this bill. Also to be verified during post-qualification is the said equipment pledged by the bidder. The bidder shall specify the submitted delegation of the equipment related inspectors, and if any equipment is not in the specified location, then the bidder shall be disqualified. For the list of key personnel, we have one project manager, one project key project inspectors, one material engineer, one safety officer, one survey engineer, and three foreign. Note these include the key number of all feds personnel. Please refer to the Service Series of 2024 or the suspension of department number 148 Series of 2024. And DPWH accredited materials engineer should be the parties with the issue PO number 98 Series of 2016 are the revised guidance on the accreditation of contractors or consultants materials engineers. Flash on your screen is the list of major construction equipment. This may be owned, leased, or under purchase is supported by certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of for the contract award. The contract shall be awarded to the bidder whose bid has been determined to be the lowest calculated as responsive bid as a result of the detailed evaluation and post-qualification conducted. Successful bidder shall be notified that the issuance of this award within the bid value period must be confirmed the successful bidder in writing within 2 weeks upon their contract. Note on subcontracting is not allowed. Common reasons for rejection of bids, ineligibility, and post-disqualification of bidder. Failure to submit original copy of the surety bond certified with the distribution indicating the legal project of preparing entity and contractor. Shorter bid validity and bid security validity period. Overlapping of pledge equipment and to the key technical personnel. Failure to indicate the validity of bid in the bid form. Late submission of bid, failure to submit supporting documents such as certification of availability of equipment transfer or vendor for the duration of the project if equipment pledge is to minister purchase. Negative submission of zoning projects, negative 10% or more, or negative 10% in each of 2 or more ongoing projects and unsatisfactory CES rate. Common errors in the submission of bids, technical and financial, and authority of the signatory to sign on behalf of the bidder. For single proprietor, signatory should be the owner proprietor cooperative or signatory certificate of work resolution. For joint venture resolution or agreement. And for partnership as indicated in articles of partnership. Reminder, deadline for submission of verification is until April 17, 2026 at 4 o'clock p.m. addressed to Capture Person, ARD Sherwin Ivan Lemos. Deadline for submission of bids is April 20, 2026 at 8 o'clock p.m. Number of copies of bid proposal, 1 original copy and 2 duplicate copies, both for copy 1 and copy 2, both for technical and financial bids. Each bids must be completed. Pre-bound and cleared, all photocopy documents must be certified as true copies indicating the name of the person certifying the documents. Days of submission of bids is DPWH NCR or NCR Procurement. Also, we have memorandum dated March 6, 2023 of the Department Secretary regarding the reiteration of department policies or assurances on the suitability documents and enrollment in the suitability prior. Item 1, in accordance with the Department Citizens Charter and the numbered memorandum dated December 27, 2021. Only the following documents are required from the prospective bidders prior to sale of the documents. We have company ID or any government issued ID, authorization letter if not authorized by an officer of the CWT, and letter of intent for foreign funded projects. Also, we have the 0110 series of 2024 or the implementation of ISO 9001 2015 certification requirement for large A, B2B, and B2A contractors in the procurement of infrastructure projects of the department. All contractors are hereby required to submit a certification starting calendar year 2025. BO227 series of 2024 or the suspension of BO number 148 series of 2024. This is to address the foreseen delay in the implementation of new infrastructure projects due to unavailability of the DPWH accredited project engineers. DO148 series of 2024 is hereby suspended until further notice. However, this is not applicable to the implementation and construction of buildings and bridges. And thus, in compliance with the numbered memorandum dated February 24, 2026 of the Department Secretary regarding the clarification of the implementation of beneficial information memorandum dated November 2025. The separate submission of the sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership annexation no longer requires it. Attached are the members for your reference.
Are there any questions po?
Any questions from our bidders who are present online?
Sir, good morning po. From
Good morning. Good morning.
Engineer Lito Kamikantor from Redicon. May question lang po regarding dun sa sa time extension. Dahil nabanggit po ni Sec natin yung rainy season dito sa phase 2. Mako-consider po ba yung mga unworkable days, sir, pag umulan dahil asphalting po tsaka excavation yung cover dun sa time extension dun sa 540 calendar days natin na duration?
Yes, mako-consider for as long as properly documented by our project engineer.
Okay, sir. Noted po. Thank you po.
There's merong DO yan may DO.
Okay, sir.
Pertaining dun sa grant of time extension due to inclement weather.
Okay, sir. Copy po. Thank you po.
Please confirm, Ramil, yun sa construction. Tama, di ba?
Yes, boss. Noted po. Meron pong governing DO dyan. At grantable naman po pagka mga valid ng reasons.
May comment. There's a comment from JM from PCPI. Anong required experience ng materials engineer 3 and safety officer? Can someone from the end user answer this inquiry?
Sir, from the TWG po, baka they can answer po.
Okay, sige. TWG. Please respond to the raised inquiry.
For the materials engineer po, required lang po is accredited materials engineer yung WTs. For the experience naman po, wala namang total experience na nakalagay na required. And also for the safety officers, kailangan lang natin ng seminar na 40 hours on health and safety. No.
Did we answer your inquiry, ma'am or Sir JM? Okay. So, are there any more inquiry? Question?
Sir, for the record po, PCPI, can you state po your name and yung company po? Naka-abbreviate po kasi ata. Thank you po.
Okay. Pacific Concrete Products Incorporated.
Thank you po.
Are there any more inquiries, question, or clarification that we would want to raise? So hearing none, this pre-bid conference is hereby adjourned. Thank you. Thank you so much po.
Thank you po, boss.
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.